Hey guys, you're watching the one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Castle. Today I want to work on the inside, but I just want to get like a heads up ideas for this section. Obviously I need to extend the bridge a little bit longer to join up with the ropes, but we know that. It goes on to then this piece of land. I don't think that I want the stairs down to the ground level to be on this side because that'll be too straight. I think what would be cool is actually to have the staircase coming down this side instead. So you sort of walk up from the ground. These trees won't be there. And you walk up the stairs like this. Up to this top level. And then it sort of turns in and comes in to the castle. What an entrance, hey? Now, today I want to start on the inside. Now, I had a quick peek on the inside here. We've got a load of red blocks that we need to remove. But then I looked down at the ground. I put it on peaceful as well, so we didn't get any mob spawning. I should have done that a while ago. I don't really know why I didn't. But I looked at the floor, and there's some gravel blocks about the place. And I was like, why are there gravel blocks on the floor? And then I remember last episode, we changed the walls to include gravel. And I think you'll find that this gravel, if you look up of where that would have fell from, there's a gap. So we just need to find out, like isolate where these fell from, and then fill the house. So there's two here somewhere. Oh yeah, I got you. I can see those two. There's like two here, or three there. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna mix them in myself. One somewhere here, and one somewhere here. There. Okay. Oh, and two over here. Oh, those two are from the here. Still my unknown area on how we're going to do that part. Now, I would fill the roof, or I would have filled the roof in by now, but actually giving us some light, if the roof was completely done, it would be extremely dark in here, so leaving that sort of open for the moment is quite good because it's letting a load of light through. Now, what levels do we have on the inside here? We've got the ground, or like the ground floor level, which you don't actually have access to from the outside. You actually come in on the first floor. So we've got 1, 2, we've got the third floor here, and then we've got the fourth floor, which has only this door, these windows, which are sort of half covered up by the roof at the minute, and those windows. So the top floor isn't really much of a floor. It's 3 main levels and then a sort of smaller one. The ground floor level, also sort of classed as the basement level, we're going to have half of it with windows, somewhat nice rooms, libraries, things like that. But then the back half we're going to have as the servant quarters. They have no windows. They're down in the dark. It's how they treated them back in these days. What I want to do is I think we should probably first get a little bit of a floor down, right? Like if we go from there to here, this gives us a rough floor. Replace air with plank. So many planks. There you go. That gives us a nice flat sort of area. Now, it's quite unusual because most castles that you see, most castles that I bet you build in Minecraft, the main door, the main entrance is in the middle of the castle. So when you walk through the door, you've got an even amount of space on the left and an even amount of space on the right. Which means your throne room, which is usually the first room that you enter, the grand hall or throne room, is dead in line with you. But in the case of our castle here, we actually approach in from pretty much as close to the right-hand side of the castle as you can, which means if we put the throne room right in front of us, for it to be even, we've only got sort of that much width, which isn't really that wide for a throne room. You want it to be quite grand. I want to have pillars and stuff like that sort of going down. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the grand hall facing this way with the throne at the end, which I think is going to look really, really cool. We can have this extra room on the side for, I think, will be a perfect dining hall with these windows in line. What is going on here? I'm sure. That would have been where we've moved windows across, isn't it? Let's just cover that up with that in a minute. That's where we've shoved a window across and not thought about it too much. Yeah. This is a perfect dining area, though. If we put, like, a floor down here, like there to there. Oops. and we grab some sort of block for like a rough wall plan. It's gonna be a lot of planning this episode. That's perfect for a dining room. It's a great size. That's in line with the window. We can move that. It's a great size for a nice big table. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 windows, because this is going to be out here instead, isn't it? So it's not in line with the bang in line with the window. It's a great amount of light coming in. It's a nice size, and it's perfectly in line for the grand hall, for the main hall. So then we have the main hall. Let's say 4 windows wide. 1, 2, 3, 4 windows wide. I think that's a pretty good width, and I want to have this pretty much dead straight, at least down to there. Then we can come a little bit wider and have a little bit more of an odder shape, something like that. Pillars on either side going up to the next ceiling, and then over here, you don't want the kitchen's going to be down in with the servants area. We're going to have the servants' quarters, kitchens, those kind of things down there. In fact, I would dedicate the entire bottom floor to servants, cleaning areas, bedrooms, kitchens, pantries, things like that. But it's got 5 windows, and I don't want windows going to servant areas. Servants shouldn't be seen, if you like. When you, it sounds like I have my own servant, or that I have very strong opinions about servants. I'm just trying to think of, like, in those days, servants weren't meant to be seen or heard. They were just sort of there to give you food, or give the nobles food, and to clean and stuff like that. But they were sort of invisible. So you don't want windows sort of advertising where they are. So I don't know, maybe a nice library down there for half of it, and then, yeah, I think that's probably the best way that we can do it. We're going to want to have some more rooms. I've got a blueprint of a castle, but to be honest, there isn't much interior rooms in a castle. This is a perfect area if we made this a little bit wider, like that. Oops. And like that could be a perfect staircase, maybe a little bit wider, like that. Nice staircase that goes up to the next level. Let's grab some stairs. Yeah, there's really not much as far as interior is concerned with castles. They're just, well, literally, I've got a blueprint here, right? There's receiving room, which I don't think is entirely needed in a castle that's meant to still be a castle. I think the blueprint that I've got here is a castle that is now like a hotel or something, because I can't see an original castle having a receiving room. It just doesn't make sense to me. There we go. That's a pretty good height. And that comes back here. Receiving room, dining room, grand hall, a parlor. I mean, we could have a ballroom. That would be pretty cool. I think I like that idea. Let's say we had this coming down here. This could be a brilliant ballroom. Big chandelier, nice sort of sized dance floor. That's really cool. And then it's kitchen, breakfast room, pantry, porch, servant staircase, library, and that's about it. There's really not much. Now, going back to the medieval times, like our castle's meant to be, we've got things like armories, and you know what might be cool? Now, this might sound odd, but it's not. It's to actually have a blacksmith inside the castle. Now, at first, you might think, well, that makes no sense, AJ. That's what we could have downstairs at the windows. Yes. How are we going to get down here? Oh, I could have the other staircase here. Going down. That's what we'll do. Yeah, at first you might think, you know, that makes no sense, AJ, having a blacksmith indoors. But it's actually quite common. If you've ever played a game like Oblivion or Skyrim, you know, Elder Scrolls games, which are this sort of medieval but fantasy times, if you go to a lot of the castles there, you'll actually find blacksmiths indoors with the smelteries and everything like that. That's perfect. So let's say the staircase came down here and ends up about there. That's the bottom of the staircase. That's the top of the staircase. This is a nice little hallway. This gravel can go now. And I'm going to have the hallway sort of curve around. So it comes sort of back on a U shape on itself. Like this. These will all have doorways going into the servant areas. Ugh. Like that. And I'm going to leave this area a little bit wider. Sorry it's dark. I'll get into the light in a minute and explain. Okay, that area in there is all servants. We can have servant bedrooms. You probably want the kitchen as quite a majority part of it, because you got to feed all the guards and everything. So let's say that's the kitchen, and then you want the bedrooms. I'm going to do a little bit more of a funky shape. I like L shapes. I don't like sort of squares. So the bedrooms here, and then maybe that area. Oh, we need a little bit of a cleaning room as well. Let's split this in half. And let's say the door was somewhere here to the bedroom. This is like a little cleaning room with cleaning equipment in. Mops and stuff like that for these kind of days. Here will be something. We've got an extra room there that I'm sure we'll think of. And then that's to the kitchen. I think that makes sense. Over here is the blacksmith. Oh, look at the little flower on the inside. This is the blacksmith area. Oh no, that's that double window thing that we've got going on again. Blacksmith area. No, I like the windows so you can actually see through from the outside. You look in and see the blacksmith hard at work. That's going to actually take up most of this room because we need furnaces. Will be nice. We obviously want the big forge with lava, so we're gonna have to make sure there's no wood, or at least secure it so the wood doesn't spread to the ceiling or anything like that. I think fire can spread. Is it 7 blocks high or something like that? I think, and 4 blocks outwards, something like that. And we're gonna need an armory as well. Now I think the armory will be perfect here as well. We're gonna want to have this as a little bit of a hallway as well, because we don't want the servants' bedroom door like visible to the blacksmith while he's working. So we're going to do that. And I think I might put a door in. Oops. A door in somewhere like that. Now I know everything's sort of like not centered properly yet. But yeah, a door in there to the hallway to those parts. And I could put the armory down here. So we have it come out here. Nothing underneath the stairs. I don't want to worry about working underneath the stairs because of how the angle is. You don't really have too much headroom. But this gives us a really nice armory. No, it's pretty good size. A lot of space for chests and armor actually sitting on the wall and everything like that. And it's not too far away from the blacksmith to be able to travel and get there. I really like that. So there's ground floor sorted out, or basement sorted out. Ballroom. Stairs, nothing behind the stairs. I don't like working behind stairs because of how the angles are. It's just awkward. Dining room and grand hall. And then the next floor is up here. Let's get a little bit of a floor down as much as I sort of can. From there. Oh, no, not to outside. That'll do a load of outside stuff as well. To there, that's going to block up the staircase, but it doesn't really matter. I can see where it is. Something like that, isn't it? Oh no, wrong way. Something like that. Okay, and then on this floor we want to have a library, a nice big library. I might balcony some of this, so let's say like this area. I don't want to. We could balcony above the throne room as well. Let me go down the hole. Thank you. If we came all the way back here and we made this part entirely air. Set air. See, that would give us a nice big balcony here. Imagine a nice fence around the edge. We can look down into this area. I can then shrink that part up to be in line with that. And that gets rid of this problem. And then I can figure the roof part out. We can make this part air as well on top of the throne room. So you get this really nice big height in the throne room ceiling. That goes like all the way up to like where the next floor is going to be. It's roughly to there, isn't it? Something like that. Yeah. I think I was bang on. Yeah. Or one block out, one or the other. And then the other advantage of this is actually we're reducing the amount of space that we have up here for rooms, because there isn't too many rooms left that are needed. Up here we've got a library that we can do. This is a lovely size, lovely width hallway. And then this can start here. And you don't want to go right to the edge because you want the balcony to continue on round. So there's a nice big big library for in here. Every kingdom needs a nice big library. And then if the throne's there, it would be really cool to have a little bit of cover over the top. Oops. So assassins can't drop a knife on top of the king. So his sort of throne will be protected by underneath there, but still with the ability to sort of look down onto it all. And then this last little area can be some sort of other room. I don't really know what yet, though. Planks. Like that, so we sort of get this on top of the dining room there. And we've got like an extra room available over here. We don't need this block. And this will be a solid wall. I don't want a balcony edge on that side. Okay, that's pretty good, right? I think that if you guys can think of any other rooms, then let me know in the comments section below, because we can always make some of these rooms smaller. The library could be smaller. We've got a room over here. Well, that's the king's bed, of course. The king's bedroom should be there. Or should it be on the top floor? Like in that area. The trouble is with this area is the same as what I was saying about underneath the stairs. You end up losing so much room because of the roof. It makes it really difficult to build. Really difficult to build. But let's say that one, and then over to this one. Something like that. And the same here. That one. That's a little bit lower. Because... Hello? There we go. It's a little bit lower here than that door, because these windows aren't on the same level as the door. But we could always have like little staircase that goes up to our king's talking platform. This year in the kingdom we shall be working on blah blah blah. That's what they would say. When there's a new king, they stand on the top and they wave, "I'm the new king. The king is dead. Long live the king," and stuff like that. But then this is actually not needed here, is it? Like that part of the roof could come up. Like we could have the roof like that, but I think it'd be best to have, even if it was a flat section of roof, and then this stuff can entirely be removed. Otherwise, this area is completely isolated from those windows and stuff like that, which means we need a staircase coming up to here, but we'd also need a staircase going up to there as well, which is just too many staircases. I don't like too many staircases. I like, you know, a couple of staircases. But that's about it. I like houses that have more than one staircase. I think they look really cool. But where's this staircase going to go? Where can we fit it? We can put it on this side, facing upwards, yeah? So it goes something like that. How did I do that? I don't know. Facing up here. All the way up to the top. Like there. Beautiful. King's bedroom up here. We'll probably end up using half of it. I think using all of that will be too long. So let's say it's roughly here where the stairs end up being. That's way big enough for a king's bedroom. This side, I mean, we could have another small library or something like that in there if we wanted to utilize that space, but we don't necessarily need to. And then where can the another staircase be? In the library, we could have a staircase going up, probably this way as well. That's a little bit in the way of the door, so maybe I'll put it over this side. Like that. And that goes all the way up, ends up somewhere around here as well. And now we're on this side of the room. And we can have an extra bit here. I don't know what room this could be either. We've got a room available here and a room available there. Staircase will come up. Staircase or wall goes along there. Wall is obviously somewhere along here. We'll want to split that off at the top of the staircase. With the doorway in somewhere. We'll just do that to signify doorway into that one. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I don't want to be able to get into the king's bedroom from over here. King's bedroom sort of only needs one access point. But I think that's pretty good, right? I think we've sort of got most of the plan covered about walls. It's a difficult process to do this, which is why we have to do it so rough. It's taken a whole episode just to do this. Staircase there. Staircase somewhere there. Roughly there. Might have to be moved over a little bit. That staircase is done. That one's done. I think we're pretty good. Alright, I think we're going to leave it there. I'm a little bit busy today anyway. But that's got a ton of prep work out of the way. We can now, next episode, jump straight into what will probably be the throne room, I think. First we'll work on putting the walls up, getting pillars in. I want nice big pillars that go all the way up and connect to that ceiling, like big tall ones. Might make them out of quartz, but that might be a little bit too white and bright. It depends on what other colours we're using here. We're going to want to have some red carpet and things like that. Balcony area. There's so much that we can sort of work on and straighten out, which will then make the next rooms next to them easier, parallel with them easier, because the walls will already be solid on some of those at least. Very, very happy. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode.